A message from the high-tech class of 2020.
Most of us started as strangers.
From different schools and different towns.
But throughout the years, we've become close friends.
Like we read in Mrs. Gary's class.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
High tech wasn't easy.
From countless hours of homework.
Living far from our friends.
Comparing GPAs.
Pushing each other towards greatness.
Enduring long bus rides.
And stressing over college applications.
As a class, we've shared everything from
tug-of-war victories,
open lockers,
eloquent mass mails.
We had some unforgettable times along the way.
Fun manual labor in Mr. Roche's rain garden.
Our pen mouse in French.
The worst video project in the history of the Spanish program.
Simply being in the presence of Mrs. Mannion.
The best virtual prom with Miss G.
The most entertaining projects with Mrs. Agazarian.
Too many Darby Gym memories to count.
Roller Club meetings every Saturday morning with Mr. Bartlett.
CPR training with Miss Finley.
Kicking it with downtown Al Brown.
Making pancakes with Dr. Ellsworth.
Chatting it up with Mrs. Brown and Mrs. LeBlanc.
Receiving Dr. Ang's infinite wisdom.
And still so many left unsaid.
We want to thank all of our teachers at High Tech
for preparing us for success.
We couldn't have made it without you all.
We have made many memories over the past 4 years.
And our second semester, senior year, wasn't what we thought it would be.
Because of the pandemic, we lost our
spring sports season,
musical,
senior pranks,
yearbook signings,
decision day,
prom,
field day,
peak, senior dinner,
and graduation ceremony.
But that's nothing compared to what's ahead for us.
We thought we were making memories for the yearbooks,
but instead, we'll be in the history books.
Oh, thank you.
We are class of 2020.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Before I start my tearjerker of a speech, I just want to say thank you to Mr. McCorkell, the MCVSD Superintendent, Mr. Dennis Ngoblia, the Vice President of the MCVSD Board of Education, and Mr. Thomas A. Arnone, the Director of the Monmouth County Board of Chosen Freeholders. Because of quarantine, I really feel like we're downplaying what we've done in high school. I'm so disconnected from school right now that it feels like we're celebrating what was just 4 years of eating, sleeping, and doing homework. It's easy to think that in a couple years we'll be forgotten, just like the classes of a couple years ago. But I don't think we will be. I think we have some truly unforgettable moments. Like when on the first day of freshman year, the power went out and we got to go home early. Or the time when a gas leak happened and again, we got to go home early. Or that other time there was a freak snowstorm and, surprise, surprise, we got to go home early. Funny how the best memories I have of high school are the ones where we got to leave early. On a more serious note though, I know we always joke about it, but we did graduate from the #1 STEM school in America. We made it through 4 midterms, 3 finals, multiple rounds of standardized tests, and some projects that really tried my patience. Countless sleepless nights just to get a 93 on the test you were studying for, all for this, graduation. The day we have spent countless hours thinking about, maybe even dreaming about. It's kind of surreal. I had imagined giving this speech and getting to make awkward eye contact with each and every one of you, but I guess looking at the camera will have to do. But anyways, if you remember one thing about high school, remember that you made it. Every time you had 3 tests fall on the same day and you thought you were going to drop out, or when you were just racking your brain as to why your code wouldn't compile, you got through with it. None of it matters now because we're here. We have our whole lives ahead of us. I know everyone in our class will go on to do great things. Writing this speech has put me in a really introspective mood. Now that high school is over, I've been thinking about whether high tech was the right choice for me. All throughout high school, I always thought about how easy it would have been to go to my home high school. Now that it's over though, I know I made the right choice. High tech has been the perfect setting for my coming of age story, and I don't think I'd be the person I am today without it. So thanks high tech for some unforgettable memories with some unforgettable people.
On behalf of the Monmouth County Vocational School District, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Charles Ford, School Business Administrator Colette Flatt, and myself, let me be the first to offer congratulations to this year's graduating seniors from the Academy of Allied Health and Science, the Academy of Law and Public Safety, Biotechnology High School, Communications High School, Class Academy, the High Technology High School, and the Marine Academy of Science and Technology. While I know the events over these past few months is not how you expected to finish your senior year, please know that it does not in any way diminish your accomplishments over these past 4 years. You and your families have so much to be proud of. While I know this has been a difficult time for each of you and your families, graduations are also a time to reflect and to give thanks. What I'd like to do is recognize those individuals and groups who made today possible. I want to acknowledge the Monmouth County Board of Chosen Freeholders, who supplies so much support to our district. I want to recognize all of the industry partners who provide mentorships and work with all of our programs to keep them current and make them first rate. I want to recognize the parents for your undying love and support of your sons and daughters over these past 4 years. Never more seen than in these last 3 months. I have to recognize the staff of all of our schools and the tremendous job they did over these past 4 years, but certainly over these last 3 months as they went to a remote education plan with each of you while they were all still caring for their families. They have done a tremendous job and deserve our thanks. But most of all, I want to acknowledge you, the class of 2020, and all of your accomplishments. As I said, graduations are a time to give thanks, but they're also a time to reflect. So life does not always go the way you plan or the way you want. You can't always control the events in your life, but you can control how you respond to these events. Philosophers, musicians, poets have spent centuries trying to define and describe what this approach to life is. But I know someone who condensed it into 2 words: keep smiling. I want to just take a moment, and I'll come back to that, but anyone out there who is listening to these remarks who works in the healthcare field, law enforcement, transportation, the food industry, skilled labor, communications, biomedical research, is a teacher, and all of the other essential workers who selflessly went to work and continue to go to work so the rest of us can stay home. I want to thank you. You are heroes in my book and deserve our praise. I'd like to tell you about someone else who, in his own way, is a hero. Not necessarily at the front lines like these people I've just mentioned, but I can say this, none of you, including myself, would be here today if it were not for him. Keep smiling. This individual personifies what it means to live a life in the service to others. He was a son of New Jersey, lived in New Jersey his entire life, and unless you lived in Oceanport, you may never have heard the name of Clem Summers. Clem graduated from the Wolf Hill School in Oceanport. He was president of his 8th grade class. Even then, he showed those leadership skills that he became known for. And a true leader is someone who puts the needs of others in front of their own needs. He was the first Eagle Scout from Troop 58 in Oceanport. He served his country in the Navy and was so severely injured that he spent a year in a body cast. He was expected never to walk again, but walk he did for the next 70 years, and we are all grateful for that. He was a member of the First Aid Squad in Oceanport, and he still served, up until his death for over 50 years in the Oceanport Fire Department. He served for over 25 years as a councilman, was the mayor of Oceanport, and was a Monmouth County freeholder. His contributions to Oceanport and the county are numerous, but just to name a few: the Police Academy, the Monmouth County Library headquarters in Manalapan, and many other buildings that still exist in Monmouth County and serve the residents of Monmouth County. But by far, Monmouth County Vocational School is his real legacy. He served on our Board of Education for over 40 years, many of those as the president. He built the Career Center. He accepted the Marine Academy of Science and Technology into the district back in 1983, and to this day, worked to see that that campus continued to grow and develop. He started with the administration, but under his leadership, the High Technology High School, Allied Health, Class Academy, Communications High School, the Culinary Arts Program in Asbury Park, Biotech, and the Academy of Law and Public Safety, because he believed that the students of Monmouth County deserved a world-class education, which was second to none. He also loved Michigan football. He spent many Saturdays traveling to Michigan and attending their games. At graduation, he would always look through the program and identify any students who were going to Michigan to offer a few words. So let me share with Biotechnology High School student Kirti Aplash and Krishna Palya that if Mr. Summers was here in my place, he would welcome you to the Michigan family. He'd look forward to seeing you next year, and you will be there with 110 other Michigan fans in what they call the Big House. I think it's important to note that Mr. Summers never had a family member attend Monmouth County Vocational School. His commitment to this district was because he believed in the residents and students of Monmouth County. He did what he did because he was a true public servant. He had three expressions that he always said. The first, everybody he met, if it was a stranger, it didn't matter. He'd always ask if they had started their Christmas shopping yet, which was certainly an icebreaker. Anytime somebody would ask if he needed any help, he would always say he needed a winning lottery ticket. But the most important thing, and everyone who knew Mr. Summers, he ended every conversation, every phone call with the same expression: keep smiling, keep smiling, keep smiling. The world has promise. The world is good. There are things to look forward to in this life, and his legacy, his life's commitment, besides his family and his grandchildren, was to the students of Monmouth County and Monmouth County Vocational School. He often said that Monmouth County Vocational School was the best school district in the country. I believe that's true, but a big part of that was because of the leadership of Clem Summers. To the class of 2020, I present the life of Clem Summers as an example to you of what a life in the service of others can mean, and as an example of a life well lived. To the class of 2020, I say to you, keep smiling. Life will get better. Congratulations, class of 2020, and God bless you.
Hello there, and welcome to our family, friends, guests, and of course, most importantly, our graduates here for all our academies here in Monmouth County. So this is unique times that we never in our wildest dreams would have thought that we would have been engaging in at this time. And I look at when I talk to our graduates or talk about our graduates, I hope this is the last time they ever have to go through this. Unfortunately for them, it's the year that is probably one of the most special years of their life here is that graduation, high school graduation. You know, somebody told me this a while back before when I was talking about this, and I'm a big proponent of trying to find an alternative way to have people in person here, is that, you know, not everybody goes to college. Not everybody moves on to that another level of education, but they move into it progressing in their life. And high school graduations are probably one of the most important component of a young adult's life. So to miss out on it, it's something you're missing out on in person. But it's our job as administrators and leaders to try to make it as fulfilling as possible. And I guess that will come in this case with words. And so as I talk to the parents and the family members of the graduates, I could tell you, I know this, that each and all of you are so proud of these students here. But let me tell you what it is to us here as local officials. And I kind of use it somewhere where we talk a little bit of our political career. And when we go out there and we campaign for elections, and I will tell you that each and every one of our freeholders, myself, Deputy Director Kiley, Freeholder Berry, Impreveduto, and Duraco, tout our high schools, tout our academies on the benefit that they are. So our graduates, I will tell you, the one thing you do for us is you help us get elected because of your success and your commitment and your dedication. And, you know, I look at what our future's about, and that's important. You know, the feeder part of any organization, and government being one, is the most important part. You're there today, you have leaders today, whether you like them or not, they're gonna be gone, and we're gonna need a good feeder program. Whether you're in government, business, whatever that might be, education, that might be, we need people. And you know what? Our future's bright, and I could see that through all our academies. So when I look at our graduates and I talk to our graduates and I see the graduates over the course of the years, I see the bond and the closeness that they have. And I guess one thing I could say to the graduates is you'll move on to your next career and you'll have new friends. You'll build new relationships. But I could almost guarantee that what you will have is a friendship that you have today that you'll never forget. People that you're not even that close with in your high school class, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you will see that person and say, wow, we went to school together. We went to high school together. It's something you never forget. And at those reunions, it's almost like it was yesterday when you get there. Old times being spoken about, funny jokes, funny times are talked about because they're special times. And they're times that you'll never forget. So remember, you'll cross paths with your fellow classmates. I can guarantee it, one time or another. And when you do, the day how you're graduating at this time of the year will be as special as it is today, will be special when you talk to your fellow classmates years down the road. And on behalf of all of our freeholders, the one thing I could leave you with is Monmouth County, the 630,000 people in Monmouth County are proud of our graduates. And know that your commitment and dedication will continue and hopefully stay here in Monmouth County, will make Monmouth County the great place that it is now, continue to be the great place because of young adults like you. So congratulations on behalf of the freeholders, and God bless.
My name is Dennis Ngolia. I am the Vice President of the Monmouth County Vocational School District. It's a pleasure to be able to speak with you today upon your graduation. I do not have to tell you that the class of 2020 has undergone an extraordinary year. You need only look around you. Instead of the company of your classmates, we meet in a virtual ceremony. But regardless of the nature of today's celebration, it does not dilute nor change the nature of your accomplishments. Graduation is a time-honored rite of passage for young people everywhere. It is an opportunity to look both backward and forward. It is the moment where you may say goodbye to what was and look ahead to what will be. One thing is for certain, you will always remember it. Every generation revels in the stories their parents tell them of their childhood. My dad told me he had to walk 5 miles to school, in the snow, uphill, both ways. When you have your children, you will tell them about the great pandemic of 2020, how everybody wore masks, how we kept 6 feet apart, how we sprayed disinfectant at anything that moved, and how your graduation was on a computer screen. The challenges you and your teachers have faced this year have been daunting, not only for the health risks, but for the disconnection from everything that we had taken for granted. But challenges make us stronger, and you, the class of 2020, were the people who adapted and persevered in a time where everything we knew in the entire world seemed to stand on its head. Your achievements and those of your parents who were right there at your side are nothing short of remarkable. You are part of history, and you will be remembered for it. There has been a lot of talk about the new normal. I don't know what that will be, but I do know this. You and your classmates will bring it about. And judging from the way you have handled these difficult times, we shall have no doubt that you will be successful in making the world a better place than where you found it. Recently, we were saddened to learn of the death of our longtime board president, Clement Summers. His hard work and dedication over the years gave this district the national reputation for excellence that it enjoys. His motto was, "Keep smiling," and I can think of no better advice to give you. Along with our sincere congratulations upon your graduation and our best wishes for the future on this happy occasion.
Welcome to MCVSD Superintendent Mr. Timothy McCorkell, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Charles Ford, MCVSD Board of Education Vice President Mr. Dennis Ignoglia, Director of the Monmouth County Board of Chosen Freeholders, Mr. Thomas A. Arnone, as well as all members of the board, Principal Kevin Bals, high-tech faculty, parents, friends, and the class of 2020. When celebrating the conclusion of any of life's chapters, it is customary to consider the beginning of that stage of life and reflect on just how much things have changed since then. Of course, the experience that we all shared on our first day at High Technology High School was quite memorable, as an overly curious squirrel caused a power outage across the Brookdale campus that sent us all home early. And I'm certain that I was not the only person who remarked smugly on the car ride home. I bet this will be mentioned at graduation. However, the nature of that particular day certainly doesn't preclude us from recognizing the growth and evolution that we have all undergone since the doors of high-tech opened to us for the first time. While wading through a sea of upperclassmen as we waited for our chance to leave, we were enveloped by an overwhelming wave of thoughts and emotions. We felt nervous, apprehensive, and more than a little alone in an unfamiliar environment. As teachers shouted bus numbers above the garbled voices of hundreds of rowdy students, we stared around anxiously, in search of a familiar face from our first class, or simply an empty corner to avoid being crushed by the moving mass of students. The stress of our first day was compounded by the rapid pace of our unexpected exodus. But the strongest emotion of all was that of excitement. What would this new chapter of life hold for us? New freedoms and opportunities, new friends and experiences. We were primed and ready to face the rushing river that would propel us through the next 4 years. But navigating that river was demanding, stressful, and sometimes outright exhausting. The excitement that we possessed was based upon possibilities, and it was up to us to direct our voyage, lest we miss our chance to reach the heights of success that we knew we were capable of. So, did we reach that apex of accomplishment? Well, the events of the first day of school came to mind during another memorable day 3 years later. On January 3rd, 2020, the lights of high-tech went out once again. At the time, we were unaware of just how close that occurrence actually came to bookending our high school experience, as less than 3 months later, the doors of high-tech closed to us for good. But as similar as the circumstances might have been, we were completely different people from the anxious and overwhelmed middle schoolers from the first day of school. We had overcome academic challenges both in the classroom and in front of our computers at 3 in the morning. So too had we faced the difficulties of creating a new community of people who live up to an hour apart. Not to mention the mental weight of living up to expectations, whether they be set by demanding classes, encouraging peers, or just by ourselves. Ultimately, we surpassed these hurdles and reached heights that we couldn't have imagined on our first day. In the 3.5 years between these early dismissals, we had made preparations for the next chapter of life, one which fills us with the same anxious anticipation and uncomfortable uncertainty that we felt during our first day. But just as excitement was the strongest sentiment back then, is again the most fervent feeling today. Our experience at high-tech is something that we will only grow to appreciate more as time marches on, but right now we turn our gaze squarely towards what the future holds. Will that include a more memorable beginning to our college years than the shock of our first day at high-tech? I, for one, am excited to find out.
For this year's virtual graduation, we have included our senior awards. This is the order the senior awards will follow. The faculty awards will be announced by our senior class advisor, Mrs. Susan Saheda, in each discipline. I will announce the principal awards, and Ms. Babin, our SGA advisor, will announce the memorial scholarships and awards. That will be followed by a number of awards and scholarships from various school and outside organizations and corporations.
It gives me great pleasure as the advisor to the High Technology High School Class of 2020 to announce the 2020 Faculty Awards. The Faculty Awards are given to one student in each of the academic disciplines. Students are chosen by the members of the faculty and are chosen not only for the academic excellence displayed during their years at High Technology High School, but also for their outstanding effort, dedication, insight, and commitment to the discipline. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Study of Mathematics is presented to Emily Chang. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Study of Science is presented to Sophie Zhang. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Study of Engineering is presented to Lauren Callie. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Practice of Research is presented to Kelly Chang. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Practice of Computer Science and Software Applications is presented to Gustav Hansen. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Study of English is presented to Annie Zhou. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Study of History is presented to Justin Diamond. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Study of French is presented to Arouge Jane. The 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Study of Latin is presented to Priya Mira. And the 2020 Faculty Award for Excellence in the Study of Spanish is presented to Zachary Sussman.
The Principal's Award is given annually to a student or students who have exhibited strong leadership and character. They may or may not hold a visible leadership position. There are a number of high-tech students who are deserving of recognition, and I could give this award to a number of them. This year I have chosen to honor 2 students who have exhibited strong leadership and character. The first student I want to recognize holds a visible leadership position at high-tech. This student is mature behind his years, incredibly responsible, leads by example, and sees things through to their completion. I have witnessed this student interacting with other students from all grades and different social groups. I remember when he was a sophomore and he was responsible for selling food in the morning to raise funds for his class. He was always there, always on time, always had a smile and something nice to say. I appreciate all that this student has done over his 4 years at high-tech. The 2020 Principal's Award for exhibiting outstanding effort, dedication, leadership, character, and commitment is presented to our SGA President, Mr. Sean Manier. Congratulations, Sean. The other Principal Award for leadership goes to a student who I will qualify as a silent leader. She is someone who leads by way of example. She is not very vocal, at least from what I have seen. I witnessed her in action as a member of our robotics team the last couple of years. This year in particular, at the state competition, her team lost in the round that would have qualified them for the VEX International competition. This was a huge disappointment for the team. Yet after this loss, I observed her and her teammates cheering on other teams, both from high-tech and otherwise. I was impressed how this student was able to set aside her personal feelings, be concerned for others, and set a good example for her teammates. The 2020 Principal's Award for exhibiting dedication, leadership, character, and commitment is presented to VEX Robotics Team 765X Captain, Brianna Yao. Congratulations, Brianna. My final Principal's Award is for someone who has excelled in the arts. Being an engineering school, we do not have awards for students who excel in musical, dramatic, or visual arts. Yet we have a number of students who are outstanding in these disciplines. I've been thinking about this for a number of years, and I decided this year I wanted to recognize a senior who has excelled in the arts. As could be said for many of these awards, we have a number of talented students who are deserving of an award, but there is a senior who has distinguished herself as an accomplished musician. She was recently named one of only 20 U.S. presidential scholars in the arts. The 2020 Principal's Award for Excellence in the Arts goes to Laura Futamura. Congratulations, Laura. The Brian D. McAndrew Student Achiever Award is named after our longtime superintendent and current Board of Education President, Dr. McAndrew. It is given annually to a student who excels in the classroom and in extracurricular activities. This year's recipient was involved in the following during their time at High Tech. She was a student council member for 4 years and this year served as class president. She was vice president of the Finance Club. She was an officer in the Creative Arts Club. She is a member of the Technology Student Association, and she placed first in the state competition and 6th in the nation in another event. She's a graphics designer for the Curious Science Writers. She co-founded and directed the Cypher event, which was an event to introduce middle school girls to coding. She also plays clarinet, first chair, for her youth orchestra. I worked very closely with this student during the 9-month planning process for the Cypher coding event. I was very impressed with her level of organization and her attention to detail. She was very responsible, and her classmates put on a great event at no cost to a bunch of middle school girls. It really was a great event, and this student was very, very impressive in all that she was able to do and the responsibility that she carried and was able to follow through on. Again, I was very impressed. The student will be attending Carnegie Mellon University in the fall. It gives me great pleasure to give the Brian D. McAndrew Student Achiever Award to Miss Annie Zhao. Each year, the American Association of University Women recognizes the top female math student at high tech. As a prize, the association chooses a particular book and sends a copy to each year's winner. This year's recipient as the top female math student at high tech is Emily Jang. Congratulations, Emily.
Congratulations, class of 2020. It is my honor to announce this year's memorial scholarships, honoring students, parents, and members of the HTHS community who are no longer with us, but who truly embodied the spirit of high tech. The first scholarship is the Carrie Wolf Memorial Scholarship. It is my honor to announce the recipients of the Carrie Wolf Memorial Scholarship. Carrie was a student at High Technology High School who died tragically in a car accident after her freshman year of college. For those of us who knew her, we had the privilege to share in her unique character. It was an honor to know such a wonderful and fine person. Carrie developed strong friendships at HTHS and was a kind, compassionate, generous, fun-loving young lady. Her friends often described her as a friend to all, caring, thoughtful, giving, always willing to listen. Often she would leave little surprise packages waiting for friends at their lockers to cheer them up. Dependability was a strong characteristic of Carrie's. She was hardworking and would not be deterred from reaching a goal she felt was important. Her moral character was one of the most important parts of her personality. She was devoted, tolerant, and had a deep belief in God and mankind. She was moral without ever being judgmental. The recipients of this award were picked by a group of faculty members who are dedicated to keeping Carrie's memory alive. We hope you will carry out the dreams that Carrie had and make the world a better place as she herself would have done. It is my pleasure to announce that the 2020 recipients of the Carrie Wolf Memorial Scholarship are Mary Chen and Taylor Lind. Our next scholarship is in honor of Anthony DeSarno. This tribute was written by Dr. Molly Marco, who was a classmate and friend of Anthony's. Hello, and congratulations to the class of 2020. Whether or not you realize it, I promise you will someday come to realize what a unique and special place high tech is, and how impactful your time here and the friends you make here will be on your entire future. One of my dearest friends from high tech was Anthony DeSarno, a beloved member of the class of 2005 and the true embodiment of the spirit of HTHS. It is hard to sum up for you exactly what that embodiment is, but let me tell you a little bit about Anthony to give you a sense of how I see it. Anthony had a generous spirit, an amazing sense of humor, persevered under the most difficult circumstances, and was devoted to social causes. Many of these traits were demonstrated in his love of all things history and politics, which we were constantly arguing about. In fact, one of Anthony's greatest loves at high tech was Model UN, which gave him the opportunity to argue about politics, raise awareness, and campaign for change in the world for those less fortunate. So it was a huge surprise to me when in early January of our senior year, Ant called to say that he was sick and wouldn't be able to attend the Model UN trip to Philadelphia that he had been working so hard for over the last several weeks and months. Tragically, what the doctors thought was originally pneumonia proved to be a rare and ultimately fatal disease called Wegener's granulomatosis. This disease ended up taking his life less than 3 months from when his first symptoms appeared. Even as he battled the disease in the hospital, Anthony was always positive and committed to beating it. He even took his Harvard interview from the hospital as he assured everyone he was going to get better and pursue his dream of an MD-JD program and going to work for Doctors Without Borders and then ultimately the United Nations. It continues to break my heart that we never got to see him realize this dream. I am encouraged, though, that we can recognize and see his spirit carried through at High Tech as we present this award to a senior that truly embodies his spirit and the wonderful contribution he made to the High Tech community. This year's recipient is Sean Maniar. Our next award is the Stephen Sherman Award, and this tribute was written by a member of his family. It's an honor today to award the Memorial Scholarship in memory of Stephen Sherman, HTHS class of 1998, who died serving our country in Iraq. It is with great sadness that we give this award. However, to remember him each year is a good thing. And so, I would like you to remember Stephen Sherman with me for a moment. Stephen Sherman was a creative and unique individual. Stephen was a quiet person, yet he had many friends while he was here and would stand up for what he believed in. For Stephen, that meant serving his country and protecting its freedoms, even if it meant risking his life. Stephen enlisted in the service even though he didn't need to. He felt it was the right thing to do. He died in Iraq, and I will remember him for that, as will his comrades and the citizens of this country. And now we will award the Stephen Sherman Memorial Award to a member of the class of 2020 who we hope has many of the qualities that Stephen had. Stephen had a willingness to help others. He was a confidant to many. He was a quiet leader by example. Stephen had a strong character in the face of difficulty, and he had a fierce commitment to doing the right thing. It is my pleasure to announce that the winner of the Stephen Sherman Memorial Award for 2020 is a student who I hope will live up to Stephen's qualities and remember Stephen as well. That recipient is Emeka Echzona. Our next award is the Edward P. Felt Memorial Scholarships. The two awards that I am here to present represent the culmination of a dream of a quiet man who sincerely believed in human achievement. The Edward P. Felt Memorial Foundation was established to honor the memory of Edward P. Felt, who was a passenger on United Flight 93 and the father of a high technology high school student. Edward was one of the nation's leading computer engineering architects, and the purpose of this foundation is to honor Ed's memory by aiding young adults who follow in his footsteps as a scientist, an engineer, and an inventor. He had a passion for learning and enjoyed mentoring students and young professionals. These awards were designed to encourage young adults to achieve by exploring beyond that which they have already mastered. On September 11, 2001, Edward's life was cut short in a grassy field in Pennsylvania, but his passion for finding and aiding bright young minds lives on. The Edward P. Felt Memorial Foundation is proud to announce that the recipients of this year's Achievement Awards in the following categories. For Outstanding Achievement in Mathematics, the recipient is Emily Jean. For Outstanding Academic Dedication and Determination, the recipient is Aiden Kelly. Congratulations. Our next award is the Adrian J. Giglio Award. These two awards are dedicated to the memory of Adrian J. Giglio. Like other special individuals associated with high tech, where awards have been created in their memory, Adrian, known as Andy to all, had his life cut short by breast cancer. His courageous battle with the disease marveled all who were around him. Andy began his career as a civil engineer for the city of New York and went on to perform civil engineering work as an executive for several major corporations. In the middle of his career, he responded to an earnest desire to own and operate his own business. He convinced Midas International Corporation he was capable of running his own Midas muffler shop. Over the next 30 years, he successfully operated not one shop, but 6 in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We could go on for hours about Andy's life, but are mindful of the time constraints. Suffice it to say, Andy set an example for all of how to be a great husband, father, friend, gentleman, engineer, and entrepreneur. We trust that the award recipients will be inspired by Andy's life and continue his legacy in their own way. We are proud to announce that the recipients of this year's Adrian J. Giglio Awards in the following categories are: for achievement in engineering, Lauren Kelly; for achievement in entrepreneurial skills, Alan Liu. Congratulations to our recipients. The last award is the James H. Linford Scholarship Award, and this was written as a letter to the class of 2020 from the class of 2005. To the class of 2020, this month you have been and will continue to be congratulated multiple times over for an accomplishment that seems to be entirely your own. The reality is that yes, you have been and continue to be responsible for your career trajectory, but it was your support system that was the launching pad for these astronomical achievements. We too were sitting in your seats only 15 years ago, just as Facebook was a fresh new startup. We overly attributed our success to our own work ethic, our immeasurable IQs, and our scorching physiques after all those workouts across the parking lot. But then we got old. We realized in our hardships that the bonds we formed with the people along our travels were everything. Our IQ meant nothing if we didn't have any EQ. This scholarship is named after a man who possessed both in spades, James Linford, who left us in 2019. He was normally a kind and generous person, but ruthless in Scrabble. He worked in finance, but he had a brief stint as a semi-professional soccer player. He was incredibly well-read and one of the few people smarter than his son Sean. When you were lucky enough to get a seat next to him at the bar, you'd walk away smarter, but definitely not in a straight line. He was the type of guy who enjoyed getting a laugh out of others, almost to a fault. He once bought his whole family bedazzled New York Yankees hats because it seemed funny, and we agree, it was. Though many of us didn't know Mr. Linford personally, we felt the warmth he radiated through his son Sean. In the spirit of his endless generosity, it makes sense he would want to empower the next generation in their education. Like any group of overprivileged millennials, we got someone else to do our work while getting all the credit. The faculty of high tech were tasked with selecting a student from the class of 2020 who had embodied most the following characteristics: radical selflessness towards parents, fellow students, faculty, and staff, even in situations that may result in significant personal sacrifice, and empathetic and compassionate attitudes towards everyone, maturity beyond his or her peers, tolerance for people that come from all backgrounds, cultures, socioeconomic status, sexual orientations, races, and religions. A general appreciation for knowledge, even if it is not necessarily displayed on performances on standard metrics, like the SAT, AP exams, GPA, etc. A congenial presence around peers, the type of person who is a friend to everyone and about whom a bad word is never heard. Contribution to the general happiness of the school, though it may not manifest in any tangible aspect. Patience for fellow students and situations that other peers would sooner abandon. And extra points to any student considered who happens to be a New York Giants fan. Mr. Adrian Vargas, please honor us by accepting the annual James H. Linford Scholarship Award. Class of 2020, good luck in your travels, and feel free to check us out on MySpace. Sincerely, the class of 2005. Congratulations to all of our recipients. We hope you will continue the legacy of those for whom you have won awards. Congratulations again to everyone on your graduation.
My name is Christy Agazarian, and I'm the current Key Club advisor at High Tech. Key Club is an international student-led organization that provides its members with opportunities to serve the community, build character, and develop leadership. Each year, the Kiwanis Club of Homedale generously sponsors 2 scholarships for high-tech seniors. These recipients are chosen based on their outstanding commitment to service and their dedication to our school's Key Club. This year, I am extremely proud to recognize 2 students who have been actively involved in leading the Key Club for the past several years. Their efforts have made our school, community, and world a better place. The 2 students receiving these awards today are Sean Maniar and Andrew Bryce.
Hello. This graduation and awards ceremony is an exciting and joyful time. I'm John Stampfel, the president of the Brookdale Computer Users Group, and I'm happy to be here with you to present our annual award to the graduating high-tech high school senior who has demonstrated excellence in computer science. The mission of the Brookdale Computer User Group for over 40 years has been to promote the awareness of information technology and related communications technologies, both to the members of the community at large as well as our own members. The senior to receive this award is selected by the high-tech high school computer science teachers. This year, the award is going to be presented to Gustav Hansen. Congratulations to Gustav on receiving this award. And also, congratulations on his graduation and his future at Carnegie Mellon University. We are so happy to be presenting this award to him. The Brookdale Computer Users Group and our programs is available online at bcug.com. Thank you, and congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations, graduates. Undoubtedly, your senior year is unlike any other, so you should be proud of all your hard work and resilience. I know we all are. I'm thrilled to present the 9th annual Commvault High-Tech High School Scholarship. Partnering with High-Tech High School has been a personal passion of mine over the past few years. For those who don't know Commvault, we are data experts. Our customers, many of which you will know by name, depend on us to store, protect, manage, and use their data, which grows faster and more complex every day. As one of the largest technology employers in New Jersey, we pride ourselves on supporting our community, which includes providing opportunities for the next generation of computer science engineers, the extremely talented individuals in our own backyard. While Commvault High-Tech High School Scholarship comes with a generous check for this year's tuition, our goal is to build a lasting relationship with the scholar. This includes a paid summer internship next summer, and yes, another handsome check to help offset the cost of the university each year, and perhaps even a career with us when you graduate. While we received many nominations, this year's Commvault Scholarship recipient stood out. He scored 100% on his software engineering online aptitude test, was a successful mentee this past spring, and is attending Rutgers University in the fall. It gives me the greatest pleasure to congratulate Ravi Raghavan on receiving this year's Commvault High Technology High School Scholarship. Congratulations.
Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge MCVSD Superintendent Mr. Timothy McCorkell, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Charles Ford, MCVSD Board of Education Vice President Mr. Dennis Ingoglia, Director of Monmouth County Board of Chosen Freeholders Thomas A. Arnone, Principal Kevin Bals, high-tech faculty, parents, friends, and the class of 2020. Without all of you, we wouldn't be walking the stage today. In my first period multivariable calculus class, a wise man named Dr. Eng once said that math always makes sense. At first we laughed because we were looking at our math quizzes and they definitely did not make sense. But as he continued with his lesson, I found myself thinking about the profoundness of what he just said. At my time here at High Tech, I've learned that in math and STEM in general, there is always an answer to the problem that we're trying to solve, even if we might not know it yet. That's what drives me, and maybe some of you, to a career in STEM. I mean, there's also a good salary, but that's an added bonus. But the more I dive into STEM, the more I realize how different it is from life. As we all know, life is messy. We can spend all of our time preparing and organizing and planning, only for a global pandemic to completely change our plans. Whether we like it or not, life is full of change, and we can either try to run away from it or learn to take it in stride. As we prepare for the big change of college, it is comforting to see how much change we've already experienced in the last 4 years. In middle school, everyone always said that high school would change our lives. And if I'm being honest, I never really believed them. I mean, how much can 4 years of classes really do? But looking back at old Snapchat memories and texts from freshman year, I can see it. I can definitely see it. We've all changed in different degrees, but we've changed. Some of us grew a lot taller. We all remember little freshman Dan Galindo, and others did not. Some of us got new glasses or new shoes or new clothes. I learned how to wear heels, and I'm sure a lot of you heard me stomping down the hallways in junior year. But most of all, there is a difference in the way we carry ourselves. Even though we still have our dumb moments, we're not freshmen anymore. 4 years ago, we were fresh out of middle school, just getting used to sitting in the front seat of the car. And now, we're the ones behind the steering wheels. We're the ones driving our own lives now. It's a scary thought, especially considering many of your driving skills. But we're all going into this next chapter with fresh independence. So yes, life may not make sense and may throw you more curveballs, because that's what life does. It keeps you on your toes. As we move on to college and our careers, I'll leave you with a message that has guided me through many changes. Be open and flexible. At Young Arts, I watched a live interview with one of my music idols, Terrence Blanchard. Even though he was a Young Arts classical music alumni, he's now a jazz trumpet icon who has composed more than 40 film scores. In the interview, he said something that I've carried with me for a long time. We limit ourselves by labeling ourselves. Labels can be comforting. They try to create answers for things that don't have clear-cut answers. We may think of someone as a master coder, or a chess legend, or a classical music nerd, but it's much more complicated than that. Life is much more complicated than that. So as we decide majors and find jobs, we could call ourselves engineers or computer scientists or doctors or whatever high-techers grow off and become. But there's so much more to our lives than our careers. Now more than ever, in a country full of uncertainty and divide, it's so important to keep the joy and color in our lives. Remember, be open and be flexible. Be open to whatever you love to do, whether it's writing music or mountain biking or calligraphy or playing the flute. And be flexible to whatever change life throws at you. Even though it's scary, change is one of the most exciting parts of life. Lean into the uncertainty because some of the greatest opportunities come from the unknown. Everyone always says that college will change our lives. And now, I believe them. Congratulations, guys. I can't wait to see the amazing things that you'll all accomplish. I'll miss you.
I would like to welcome Mr. McCorkell, Dr. Ford, Dr. McAndrew, members of the Board of Education, freeholders, faculty, parents, relatives, and friends, and all those who will watch this celebration. Thank you for joining us. I would also like to further recognize Mr. McCorkell, our superintendent, who will be retiring at the end of the month after serving for 42 years in public education. Thank you, Mr. McCorkell, for your thoughtful and steady leadership these many years. It has been a pleasure to work with you. I would like to recognize the high-tech faculty and staff for the outstanding job they do day in and day out working with the students at High Technology High School. I would especially like to thank them for how they went above and beyond during this period of remote learning. It has been amazing to watch the innovative ways they've adapted their instructional practices to meet the needs of their students. I also want to recognize Mr. Roach, who will be retiring at the end of this school year. He has served in public education for over 40 years and for almost 3 decades at High Tech. Thank you, Mr. Roach, for all you have done for High Technology High School over the years. Finally, I would like to recognize the parents of the senior class. Thank you for all the sacrifices you have made and all that you have done for your students over these 18 years to get them to this point in their academic career. And students, make sure you thank your parents for all that they've done for you to get you to this point. This senior class, like the many classes before it at High Tech, have been accepted into the finest universities in the nation. It is an impressive list of colleges and universities, and I commend them on this outstanding achievement. Seniors, let me talk to you directly. I've been thinking about the quote, "Necessity is the mother of invention." The Oxford Dictionary defines the saying as, when the need for something becomes imperative, you are forced to find ways of getting or achieving it. I will use that quote as the backdrop for what I want to say now. Your lives have been disruptive. You have not been together with your classmates since March 12th. You did not attend the prom this year. There was no senior trip to Peak. And you're not having a traditional graduation in Collins Arena. There are many other things that you have missed out on. That cannot be denied. Some of you are understandably upset. You may be asking yourselves, why us? Why our graduating year? Many of you don't even know if you'll be on the campus that you're going to be attending in the fall. Some of you may be thinking, this is not fair. It would certainly seem that way, but that is not the only narrative. I think there's another way to view this disruption in your lives. It is possible you have been provided with a tremendous opportunity. Let me explain. Since freshman year, you have been steeped in the engineering design process. As you know, the first step in that process is to define or identify the problem. Sometimes defining the problem can be difficult, but not now. The coronavirus pandemic has provided you with a multitude of serious problems that need solutions. For example, can we build a screening test that will give results in minutes and cost pennies on the dollar? Can we establish a method to quickly develop new vaccines that are safe and effective? How can we better do contact tracing and not invade people's privacy? Can we build a ventilator that is small, cost-effective, and easy to deploy? Can we develop a national database with best practices on how to respond to a pandemic? Can we improve remote learning? How can we take assessments remotely and assure academic integrity? How can we provide a remote education so all students are served equitably? I could go on and on. You have been provided with a multitude of problems that now need solutions. Back in December, were you thinking of contact tracing? Did you even know what Zoom was? You now have unlimited problems that need a solution. As a nation, we cannot allow this to happen again. There will be new viruses to come in the future, and we need to be able to respond better to situations like this. I believe as a group, you are uniquely qualified to tackle these problems. You are bright, creative, and have been steeped in the engineering design process. You'll be attending the best colleges in the country. You have the tools to solve the big problems that are facing us as a nation. Engineering, if nothing else, is simply learning how to identify and solve problems. Class of 2020, I challenge you to convert this disruption into an opportunity for innovation. Let me say it again. I challenge you to convert this disruption in your lives to an opportunity for innovation. Let the sting of all you have lost be the motivation to solutions to problems that now ail us. Let me conclude with this. Class of 2020, you have done well. You have carried on the great tradition of past high-tech graduates. But know this, all of your accomplishments in high school have simply earned you an invitation to the next round. No one in college will care that you had a perfect SAT score, or that you were national merit finalists, or that you had 5s on all your AP exams, or that you won a state championship in high school. You will have to forge a new path. As you have done in high school, I encourage you to do in college. Pursue excellence in all things. But at the same time, I caution you, because you are so driven and goal-oriented, I'm afraid that you will miss the journey as you focus on your destination. Take time in college to enjoy yourself. Get involved in clubs and non-academic activities and have some fun. Finally, you'll have many choices and decisions to make in the next 4 years. What will you major in? What clubs, sports, or activities will you participate in? Who will you choose as friends? And what career path will you eventually embark on? Choose wisely. Reject the good and embrace only the best. Make us proud. Thank you for a great 4 years. Mr. McCorkell, Dr. Ford, and Dr. McAndrew, all the students of the class of 2020 have fulfilled the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Monmouth County Vocational School District and the state of New Jersey. It is with great pleasure that I now present the graduating class of High Technology High School. Rohan Agarwal. Mayank Barad. Evelyn Bernstein. Alexander Bigley. Andrew Bryce. William Kai. Lauren Calley. Nicholas Catapano. Thomas Chan. Kevin Chen. Mary Chen. Derek Cortez. Joshua Cully. Daniel Devery. Justin Diamond. Trevor Dovan. Julia Draganoff. Emeka Echezona. Yasmin Elzamek. Tiffany Fang. Katrina Florendo. Laura Fudamora. Aiden Gajewski. Daniel Galindo. Frank Grabowski. Gustav Hansen. Aruj Jain. Sana Jain. Malik Javed. Emily Jang. Addison Calanther. Aiden Kelly. Joshua Kim. Amaya Kumar. Aparna Kumar. Claire Kuo. Jenna Kushner, Karen Lee, Sunny Liang, Taylor Lynn, Kathryn Liu, Selena Liu, Amy Lowe, Alan Liu, Edwin Liu, Nia Malangata, Sean Maniar, Matthew Masonius, William McKim, Priya Mehra, Arjun Menon, Thomas O'Keefe, Lyndon Arthur Puzan, Kelly Chong, Ravi Raghavan, Abhihat Sarma, Luke Scaleri, Zachary Sussman, Akil Thalasala, Adrian Vargas, Caitlin Wang, Lawrence Wang, Jason Yan, Daphne Yang, Brianna Yao, Adrian Yu, Helena Zhang, Michael Zhang, Sophie Zhang, Annie Zhao.
Hello, Superintendent Mr. Timothy McCorkell, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Ford, Board of Ed member and former Superintendent Dr. McAndrew, Vice President Mr. Dennis Ingoglia, Director Mr. Thomas Arnon, Mr. Bals, high-tech faculty and staff, family and friends, and of course, the members of the class of 2020. Fellow classmates, we did it. Before we go, I'd like to take some time to reflect on our high school experience. I, along with many of my peers, have been looking forward to this year for a long time. As a small freshman, I always looked up, literally, to the seniors that ruled the hallways. They seemed to have it all figured out. Meanwhile, I was always confused, wondering why we kept our lockers open, why we were dubbed frosh, and why everyone seemed to blame the mass males on our grade. Thankfully, I wasn't alone. Together, in a class of 70 students, we navigated through freshman bio objectives, sophomore soccer towers, and last-minute film fest submissions. We've all been through stressful times and late nights, and I think I speak for everyone when I say we've grown in character and developed confidence as a result. Eventually, senior fall rolled around, the final stretch before our next adventure. 2020 meant the start of a new decade, a new academic experience, and a new chapter in our lives. We were prepared to face our own challenges and uncertain futures. But when 2020 came, it was unlike anything we expected. From the very beginning in January, we heard reports of bushfires in Australia and saw memes about being drafted for war. Then, a global pandemic changed the world. With barely a few weeks' notice, we were thrust into reality, forced to face the consequences of the outside world and quickly adapt to change. Today, I am a senior, nearly an alum, and I'm still just as confused as I was 4 years ago. I've realized everything is a lot more complex than I thought. In retrospect, my freshman concerns seem trivial now. Beyond the walls of high tech, complicated problems arise every day, none with straightforward solutions. We are graduating into uncertain times, but uncertain times are when the world is most conducive to drastic change. We can't predict the events that happen to us in the future, but we can plan for them and control our reactions. Class, we spent the past 4 years constantly solving problems we have built and created with our own two hands. It's becoming clear that we are not only able to implement change in the world, but we are the ones responsible to do so. Now, it's our chance to use our skills beyond the classroom. We are finding something that's bigger than ourselves. Though our paths may diverge for now, we will meet again in the future, side by side, as we build to improve the same society. It is tradition for the graduating senior class to leave behind a gift for the school. We leave it not only to be remembered by, but to also benefit the incoming and current students. Last year, the class of 2019 gifted us with beanbags. This year's class gift will be a welcome mat in the front, as well as signs to designate the high-tech building on campus and Arena Drive. We hope these gifts welcome visitors to the open high-tech community. On behalf of the class, I would like to extend thanks to the teachers for all you have given to us. You have taught us everything, from calculus to chemistry, entertained our questions and curiosity, and provided us with long-lasting life lessons. We have learned beyond the textbook and have grown as better students, scholars, and teammates under your guidance. Memories made in your classrooms will last a lifetime. We would also like to thank the staff. Thank you, Ms. Galero, Ms. Jarmer, and Ms. Nadish in the office, who dealt with their grade-wide problem of being habitually late. Thank you, Joe, Bill, and Devin, for running the school behind the scenes, always knowing where to find an extension cord and working hard to transform the NPR from a lunchroom to a stage to a dance floor. I would also like to recognize a staff member who has been incredibly invested in our class, our class advisor, Mrs. Ojeda. Mrs. Ojeda, you have supported our class since the very beginning, from planning video game tournaments, going out to buy Subway sandwiches for lunch sales, and discussing our aspirations and struggles. You went above and beyond as a class advisor, and we are forever grateful. Lastly, thank you to the class of 2020. Your dedication, hard work, and good spirits have made these 4 years unforgettable. Your futures are bright, and I'm so excited to see all that you accomplish. Congratulations to the High Technology High School class of 2020. Fellow graduates, I invite you to join me in the turning of your tassels from right to left.
Hola, chavales. Espero que hayáis disfrutado de aprender español en high-tech. Ojalá tengáis muchas oportunidades de viajar y de conocer mundo. Y os deseo mucha suerte y alegría en el futuro.
Congratulations, class of 2020. It's been an honor and a privilege to be your teacher for the past 4 years. I am so proud of all you've accomplished, and I can't wait to see what the future has in store for you. Love you.
Hello, seniors. Although we couldn't be with you in person today, we're certainly with you in spirit. We're so proud of your accomplishments, and we want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Hey, seniors, your move. Congratulations, graduation. You did it. 4 years of new schedules and new viruses, and you survived it all. Best of luck going forward. Don't forget to come back and visit us. Take care, everybody.
Hi, seniors. I wanted to congratulate you on this giant feat. Graduation is a big deal. Congratulations to all of you. And I just wanted to leave you with some sound advice. Try to always look at the glass as half full. Having a positive attitude is so important in every aspect of life. So keep that in mind on your journey forward. Love you all. Bye.
Congratulations, class of 2020, on your graduation from High Technology High School. It was a pleasure being your teacher, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store for you next. Stay safe, stay well, and best wishes to you all.
Hey, class of 2020, congratulations on your graduation. I wish you the best of luck. You did a great job in mentorship, and you made my first year as mentorship coordinator fantastic. Thank you so much for all of your hard work, and I wish you nothing but success and happiness in your future. Good luck.
Hey seniors, congratulations on graduating. Best wishes for everything that's ahead of you, and make sure to keep in touch next year.
Congratulations, class of 2020. You're graduating. It's a crazy time, but it's still a graduation. Go out there and enjoy and look forward to the future.
Seniors, congratulations. I and the entire high-tech staff are so proud of you and all the talents and hard work you put into this accomplishment. The world right now really needs that talent and hard work. So please come back and tell us all the amazing things you're going to be doing. This is not the way we wanted the school year to end, but I can tell you we will never forget your class and all that you meant to high-tech. Best of luck.
Congratulations, seniors! As you look back at your time at high-tech, I hope you are all very proud of your many accomplishments. I wish you all the best as you leave us and head off to college, and we'll miss you very much, so I hope you remember to come back and visit.
Hey, class of 2020. Congratulations on graduation. Good luck as you go out into the world, and welcome to the High Tech Alumni Club.
Hey, senior friends. Best wishes on your 2020 commencement. I haven't had a tie on for a number of months, but I did want to get dressed up to acknowledge your accomplishments today. Commencements definitely represent new beginnings, and I am proud and honored to share those new beginnings with the class of 2020. Stay safe and be happy.
Hi seniors, congratulations. I wish you all well, and I wish you a bit of luck and all good things. I also hope you'll let us know how you're doing sometime. Take care, and let's just say farewell for now and not goodbye. Best wishes and everything. Bye.
Seniors, boy do I miss you guys. I miss seeing you in the back of guidance. I miss watching you walk down the hall as you talk and joke with one another. I miss having you pop into the office just to tell us where you're going next year and what you'll be doing and all the great things that come with the college experience. But I know you're going to go off and do great things at your great colleges. So just remember, don't forget high tech, and remember to be interesting. Best of luck, class of 2020.
What about graduation, Mr. Bals?
The governor says they got to be virtual.
Diane, Mr. Bals said that we can't have an outdoor graduation.
What?
What? I feel so bad for these kids.
Oh, did we give up when Germany bombed Pearl Harbor? When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Seniors, congratulations on your graduation from High Technology High School. I've enjoyed working with you these past 4 years, and I have many fond memories of your time here. I wish you much success next year in college and beyond, and I look forward to welcoming you back as alumni in the very near future. Go and do great things. Be well.
Thank you.